Hi everybody and welcome to FlossTube number 13. My name is Alana. I am Mrs.SmithStitches here on FlossTube as well as on Instagram. And welcome back. Happy October. Today is October the 1st, Sunday, October the 1st. And I'm very excited. It is incredibly warm here for October, but I'm super excited to see all the fall colors start and all the leaves are starting to change around us. So we're very happy about that. And I have dove headlong into my fall stitching, which has been so fun. I think almost everything I have to show you today is fall except the one sal, and that's it. So welcome. Thank you so much for watching me. Thank you to all my returning subscribers. I really appreciate all of the likes and comments and messages and emails and Instagram messages and everything else. It has been such a fun experience to start this channel. And if you're new, welcome. I hope you'll stick around and enjoy the show. So I do have a little bit of a life update and a little bit of a channel update. I'm gonna just sort of be switching things up a little bit here on this channel. But first, the exciting life update is I am a granny again. So our son and our daughter-in-law had our little baby granddaughter in these last couple of weeks since I filmed my last video. Everything went fantastic. She is beautiful and healthy. Mom is doing fantastic. They are just doing great. We are so thrilled. We are absolutely ecstatic to meet this little girl. So my stitching hasn't been as much. I feel like I say that every video. I was like, it was a crazy couple weeks. I haven't stitched in a while. I do have some stuff to show you, but of course, most of my last 2 weeks my spare time has been spent snuggling the new baby girl. We have had a bit of a busy weekend. Both of the great grandma, so my mom and my mother-in-law, came this weekend to meet the baby and to see everybody, and we had a big family dinner last night with everybody, and it's just so fun now that the grandkids are like, because we have one little grandson who just turned 1 in July, and now we have a little granddaughter. It's just so exciting. It's so much fun. I'm loving it. I'm already planning Christmas. I've already been ordering stuff. I have to rein myself in. My stitching budget is now going to baby clothes, but it's been super fun. So we had a big weekend. Everybody just left, so it's Sunday afternoon. My husband is working on the basement as he has been forever. It's getting there. Flooring is coming in 2 weeks, so I'm really hoping to be able to, by Christmas, just to get everything down, get everything organized down there, be able to sort of organize my craft room, which tends to be in my husband's office. Sort of everything kind of got dumped in there, and I'd really like to get that organized and be able to film back in my craft room again would be ideal. It's just nice to have everything in the same spot, but the filming hasn't been great up there. So that's our exciting little life update. New babies, very exciting. Not too much going on. Nothing is as exciting as a new baby. So really, nothing else is going to be interesting to talk about. That's all I got. That's my exciting news. I have decided to switch things up a little bit here on FlossTube. I believe what I'm going to do, my plan going forward, at least for the rest of this year, is to film once a month. I've been really trying to film every 2 months, every 2 weeks. And I am just finding that I don't have enough stuff. I'm not stitching enough right now. And I expect that to get worse as Christmas gets closer, to be honest. I am stitching and I'm happy with the amount of stitching that I'm getting done, but I'm not sure it's quite enough to show every 2 weeks. So I think what I'm going to try to do, I'm going to try something different. I'm going to try to stitch the first of every month. So going into that next month. So my next video, today is October the 1st, so I felt like it was kind of a nice little way to transition over. So my next video will be November the 1st. I'm going to try that for a couple months and see how that works out. I'm just finding that, like, I just don't have enough. I don't find that I have a ton to show, which means my videos are a little bit shorter. And I'm not one to have a lot of haul. I do have I have a fair bit of haul, but it's all floss. I have no new patterns. I do have quite the cart on 1, 2, 3 stitch that I haven't done yet. Like I haven't actually ordered it yet because it's a lot of stuff, and I want to be really like careful about not buying more than I can like realistically stitch. Do you know what I mean? Like I just feel like sometimes I collect, but then I really would like to complete my stitching, and I just have a lot of whips on the go right now. So I can show you my little bit of haul. It's all from Knowledge and Needles, and it's just all floss. So here we go. It's floss from everywhere. That's it. It's a combination of stuff for Sarah Smith. It's stuff for at home, which is the new Brenda Gervais that I'm planning on doing. My new start is going to be at home. I haven't started it yet. There's a few assorted flosses in here for different projects that I realized I didn't have. It was like, oh, I started something and I didn't have it. But for the most part, that's what I've got is just floss. Now I ordered this from Knowledge and Needles. That's in Brighton, Ontario. And I've talked about her many times, and I'm going to post that below, her website below. She's fantastic. Like I just email her and tell her what I need and she just sends it to me. But if you're Canadian, her fancy floss prices are by far the best that I have ever come across. So I ordered 24 threads of different ones. Like there's Classic Colorworks, there's Weeks. I think it's just Classic Colorworks and Weeks. I generally buy my Gentle Arts at Wool Time in Ottawa. I try because I like to support, the local stores. So Wool Time in Ottawa carries Gentle Arts, and I usually do buy in person there if I can get there. But Anne carries Gentle Arts as well. She does. I bought 24 specialty threads for $72. So, which I know sounds like a lot. It does. But that ends up being $3 a skein. So here's a skein. And honestly, like I have not found a better price Canadian. I think 123 Stitch, they're $2.49 a skein, but that's American. So that ends up being like, I don't know what that ends up being, honestly. I can't math that. I can't. But by the time I pay shipping, duty, and the exchange rate, it's definitely more. So if you are Canadian and you're looking for specialty threads, now I do believe she also has silks, but I don't really stitch in silk. So, because I've seen in her store like some Gloriana, she may have more. She is absolutely worth, I will put her email down below and I will put her store, like her website. I've not found a better price for floss for sure. And her patterns are I've bought a lot of patterns from her. Her patterns are very, very reasonably priced as well. But I find particularly for floss, specialty floss can be so expensive, especially if you're Canadian, because you're paying for shipping and you're paying for the exchange rate if you have to buy it from the States. So I just wanted to do a little plug for Anne. I just find her floss is the best price that I've come across. So there we go. I'm going to put that floss over to the side. There we go. So that was my little haul. That's all I bought. I do have a few things. I have a lot. I have a ton of stuff in my 123 Stitch cart. But I haven't like pulled the plug because I feel like every time I go to order, it's like, oh, there's something else. And oh, I want to take that off. So I'm having a really hard time because it's a pretty big order and I don't really do that very often. I was gifted very, 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 very sweetly from a friend a $25 gift card. So I was like they do it like a digital like gift card. It's very exciting. So I do want to place an order. I also had a comment on my last video from someone in Southern Ontario that said when she orders from 123 Stitch, it only takes a week. And I was like, oh, I find it, like I usually order it to the States and just go pick it up. But I find here it's at least a month. Like I had one package that I didn't get for a couple of months because it got stuck in customs. So I was really surprised by that. So I'm sort of tempted to try to order and have it shipped here and see what happens. Because none of the stuff I'm particularly in a rush to get. So I might try that and just see. I don't know. I find it takes forever to get here from 123 Stitch. I think they're in Texas, but anyway, okay, that was my exciting haul. That's all I've got. Video over. No. I do have some notes though. So here we go. Oh, there was some exciting news that was released this past week is that Evertote, now they do have a Flosstube channel and a website. I'll link them down below. They are the hosts of Stitch North, which happens in the spring. Next year, they are going to do a Stitch North fall retreat for the weekend. And I think that, I didn't write down the dates. October. If I remember, I'll put them in here. I think it was the 23rd, 24th weekend. I think it's the Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I should have looked into that before I posted about it, but I will link that below. And if I remember, I'll put the little dates up here. Yeah, so that was kind of exciting to do a fall retreat. It'll be in the same location as they do now, which is in Brampton, Ontario. So if you are in the general area and can make the drive, they do 2 spring retreats, and then they're going to do a fall, which I think will be really fun. I don't know if I'll be able to go to both. I am going to weekend 2 of Stitch North next year. So that is the last weekend in April. I don't have the dates in front of me, so I'm not sure what they are. So for 2024, I will be there at weekend 2. I'm very, very excited. It will be my first retreat that I've ever done. I've done a couple of cross-stitch days that have been sort of local, but I have never done a retreat. So I'm very excited about that. But yeah, they're going to do a fall retreat next year, which should be fun. And I'll link it below because I don't know when the registration opens. I don't know anything about that. But I thought that would be kind of fun. Okay, so I'm going to jump into my new starts and some whips. I don't have any finishes this month. I do have some new whip go numbers that were pulled that as I'm looking here, I realized I didn't bring to show, so I'll have to just explain. And I think that is it. I don't have much in the way of notes here. See, I'm not doing enough in the 2 weeks. I'm too distracted by all the grandbabies. I don't have time to do anything else. So I'm going to start with my new start that I just started this last night that I wanted to start for the 1st of October. So this is, here, I'm going to do it on this side. This is Midnight Watch by Blackbird Designs. And I'm going to do a close-up on the moon because I am not sure that my color choices are going to allow the moon to show up like it does. Like one of the things that really appealed to me about this particular pattern was the moon. And I'm a little bit concerned that my fabric choice isn't going to make it happen. I have another idea, but I'm not sure. So here's so I'm stitching this on 36 count beige by Weeks Dye Works. And I'm using all the called for colors in this. So here we have here. So here it is. So you can see, I'm going to get up close, that I started the moon. Now I haven't started the black cat because I only just started it last night. And everything shows up well, but I don't think the moon, like if I hold it back here, like I don't think you can see that. Maybe you can on. So now I'm a little concerned that I hate restarting stuff. I hate restarting stuff. So I'm a little concerned. I want to do this on a darker fabric. So I'm going to pull so you can compare and give me your advice. So the moon is stitched. It is. Now keep in mind this is from 2009 and I know the dye lots have changed. I know that. So this calls for Classic Colorworks Ginger Snap. Like when you look at it, it's not even Classic Colorworks. It's, what did they used to call it? Crescent Color. So I know it's been a while. So I'm going to hold the Classic Colorworks up against the fabric so you can give me an idea. So see what I mean? And I don't find, I'm going to get close. I don't find that the variegation is at all close to what it is here. Like it's super different. So my question for you wonderful ladies and men is, does anybody know of a color that looks closer to that, the Classic Colorworks? It's Ginger Snap. So this is what I have, Ginger Snap. Let me show you that. And it does not, I'll show it against something darker. It really does not have the variegation that the original design had. At least my skein doesn't. And I don't know, like, I ordered it online. I ordered it from Anne, I'm pretty sure. So I don't have the option to go to different stores to see if I can find a different color, like a different color, a dye lot. So do I try to find a darker fabric? I have an idea about that. Or does anybody know? Because I really, really like the other colors on that fabric. Like I think it looks really good. It looks to me similar to the picture. And I really don't want to restart it if I don't have to. Does anybody know of a similar color that would variegate like that? because I love the moon. That is one of the biggest things that attracted me to this piece. And I feel like the way I'm stitching it now, I'm not going to see the moon like that. And maybe that's okay. Like maybe it'll just be a more faded moon. I don't know. Or I need to change the fabric, which means I need to restart. And I hate that. So give me your, please comment below and let me know what you think. If there's another fancy floss that like looks like that, that's a little darker than this one that I have, that's a little darker than Ginger Snap with more variegation, I'm willing to do that. I will frog, I don't have very much done. I will frog that. And or should I just change the colors? So I'm going to show you again so you have a better idea. So here it is. I'm going to do a close-up. So there it is, close. It's coming together super fast. Like I did like a couple hours on that last night and I got tons. And then I feel like I do a couple hours on some other piece and I look like I haven't touched it. So like close it show, I don't know. I'm not sure, but I really, really like the fabric and I really, really like the way the other colors are popping. And the like every other color is dark. The moon is the only one that isn't. So I'm not worried about the other colors showing. So oh, sorry, I bumped my camera. I'm not sure. So I would love some advice. If you have advice, please share what you think I should do. If you think I should change the color of the moon, or you think I should change the color of the fabric, or do you think I should just leave it? I would like to see what the black cat looks like. Once maybe that'll make the moon pop a little bit more once the black is in there. I just don't know. There you go. That's my conundrum for today. I'm going to show you my next piece because this is the fabric. I have enough of the fabric for my next piece to do both, to redo Midnight Watch on it. I just don't know if I want to restart it. There we go. I don't know. So my next piece is my birthday start. I must have started for my last video because my birthday was September. I did. Did I? Yes, I had to have started for my last one. So it is Mighty, what's it called? Mighty Acorn. It's also Blackbird Designs. I'm on a theme. I just love their stuff. So here it is, Mighty Acorn. So cute. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful pattern. I saw this, I think I saw Olivia from Pumpkin Hollow Quilts do this like a couple of years ago and I just loved it. So that's that. Here is my progress that I feel like I have stuff everywhere. Stuff everywhere. Oh, uh-oh. Now I'm dropping stuff. This is not good. What did I do with that? Oh, dear me. I've lost. Oh, dear. Excuse me while I find this. Oh, now I'm really hitting my camera. Technical problems. There we go. Okay. Look at this. That's awful. If I knew how to edit, I'd edit it all out, but I don't. So you're going to get the real me. And I'm wearing this sweatshirt because I love my granny sweatshirt, but it's like 100 degrees here today. It's so warm here for October. And I'm like, I have to wear my granny shirt to represent the newest grandchild. And I'm like, hot flash in here. Anyway, okay. Sorry about that. Fix my hair. So I'm going to show you my progress. Here's my progress on Mighty Acorns. Isn't it so pretty? This is another one that I feel like is just going really, really quickly. Like, it didn't take me very long to do that. Here we go. I'll show you my progress. Like I'm almost to the other side. Like I'm almost to the, like this is the last and then the border will go here. I never ever, oh, it's very wrinkly. I'm sorry. I thought I did iron that. That's really sad. That was ironed. So I am stitching this with Diane from Be a Blessing Stitcher. I will link her floss tube down below as well. And she always does her whole border first. And you will notice I never ever do that. I get too bored with the borders. So I start the borders and then I move over and then I'll come back and finish a bit of the border and then I'll move down. I never ever do my whole border first. Wow, I did iron that. Look how wrinkly that's awful. There you go. And I did get the color. So you'll notice in here, let me open this back up again without showing you the whole pattern. So the original color of the house is, I think it's that Schenectady, I say that wrong, by Weeks Dye Works. And Sarah, handmade by Sarah W. She just stitched this not that long ago and she switched her house to Dolphin. And that was one of the ones that I ordered from Anne. And here it is. So this is my Dolphin. So this is what I'm going to do the house color in. It's so pretty. not at all my idea. Diane actually is the one who told me about it. She said, you should see Sarah's because it's so, so nice. And it is, it's beautiful. So go and check out Sarah's channel, and her finish on this was absolutely beautiful. But I'm going to finish, I feel like, I don't love this light in this room. Like, it's a cute little backdrop, but I feel like the lighting here isn't as good as when I was in the kitchen. I might have to make a switch back at some point. I need a ring light, but I'm cheap and I won't buy that. So that's going to be the house color. So I'm hoping to get some good progress in on that this week. Well, the month, I guess, going to be a month. So hopefully. Now, so I'm stitching this on 36 count Ren by Picture This Plus. And I have a big enough chunk that I can do Midnight Watch on the back of this if I wanted to. So here is the Ginger Snap, Classic Colorworks Ginger Snap on the Midnight Watch. So here is that. See here, in this sunny light, it's not actually showing up any better. Here, for heaven's sakes, here we go. But it does oh yeah, I guess it is. Sorry, that looks so, I really need to take some like FlossTube lessons here. Sorry, the sun's gonna come out and it's not. So I feel like this is gonna show up a lot better here. Maybe I should do it on this side. Maybe it's my window that's doing me in. But I don't want to restart it. But I do think the moon will show up better. And it's a beautiful fabric. Like the Ren is absolutely beautiful color. So here's that, here, let's compare. Let's compare like this. Can I do that? So this is Weeks Beige and this is Ren. And I just don't know. Can I hold it back here? It doesn't look that, you know what? I don't know what it's showing up like for you guys, but for me, it doesn't look that different. Like, but in person, it looks incredibly different. Like the Ren is significantly darker than the beige. But I don't know. I don't know this lighting. I don't think it's showing up as dark. Anyway, advice required. Appreciated. I would love somebody. This is why I never changed colors, because I was like, I need someone to tell me what to do and how to do it and when to do it and which fabric to do it on, which colors to use. Like I need full assistance. Like I am not the type that does well switching out her own colors. That's just not, I'm not good at it. Sorry, I'm gonna take a sip of water. It's so hot. The granny sure was a bad idea. Okay. So this week, I did get, so my WIPGO numbers for September were, this is the day, which I showed you last week, and I didn't get more work done. I did my 5 days. And my second one was And a Forest Grew, which is by Rosewood Manor. I love this pattern. It's gigantic, and I absolutely love it. I did do 5 days on it, and as you're going to see, it doesn't, when I do 5 days on this, it does not look like 5 days. Like I did like 1 day on Black or Midnight Watch, and it looks like I got a whole corner done, and this looks like I haven't barely touched it. I think it's all the color changes. Like each little motif is like a bazillion different colors, and that's just super time consuming to constantly be changing your thread. So I did do a little bit. I did a little bit. That's what I'm gonna say. I'm not even gonna say a decent amount because it really wasn't a decent amount, but there we go. Let's see, can I get this? So here we go. This is all, so what I did work on was the bottom here. Let me see if I can get that a little bit closer for you. There we go. So sorry about the wrinkles. I actually ironed this stuff and then I think I folded it and that was a bad idea. So I got all those little motifs done. The little birds are super cute. And here it is back here. The whole shebang. I want to thank everybody very, very much for all of their encouragement that I will be able to somehow frame this with such a tiny, tiny border. My margin is so very, very small, and I've been very stressed about it because I have done a ton of stitching on it. I honestly probably should have restarted it once I realized, but I had so much done that if I restarted it, I'm not going to finish it. So yes. So thank you. Everybody was like, you'll be able to do it. You either have to attach some fabric or you just have a really, really, really short like margin for the frame, which I'm also okay with. I'll see once it's done, I'll take it to a framer, because this one I will do. I'll frame. I won't even try to frame this myself. But I love this one. I love this one. So I've decided that I've thought a little bit about like what my plans are for 2024. And I think this particular one is going to be a focus piece for me in 2024. This was my new start for 2021. It wasn't this year. It must have been 2020. It was 2021. What did I start this year? I don't remember. And this is how you know you have too many whips, because I have no idea what my new year, new start was. Actually, I think this is the day. I think that's what and it's not done either. So I've really been thinking about plans for 2024. I'm a bit of a planner, so I kind of like to think about things. And Jessica, Sweetwater Stitcher, has done, she was talking about doing 24 and 24, which I love the idea, but she's doing 24 new starts and I am not. So I think my plan is going to be 24 whips. I'm going to take 24 whips in 2024. Not necessarily to complete, but to work on in a rotation. So I'm still working out how I want to do it. I've decided, I think, not to do whip go next year and to just get a rotation going of those 24 whips. Whether that's 3 days for each whip or 4 days or 1 week, I'm not really sure what my plans are, but I really, really, really want to get my whip count down for 2020 in 2024, because 2025, now I know I'm really getting ahead of myself, is my 50th. I turned 50 in 2025, and I know I wanted to do something big. I will not do 50 starts in my 50th year. That will never happen. I will never, ever start that many things, ever. I will go crazy. But my plan for my plan for 2025, I know I'm getting really ahead of myself, but I have to plan ahead, is to do the Blackbird Designs, Anniversaries of the Heart, which is massive. And one of the main reasons that I got really into stitching again was I saw that pattern. So I had discovered FlossTube in I don't know what I was doing. I was bored. It was the pandemic. I was on YouTube doing whatever, and Shiloh, Crossstitch MD came up and I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cute. And I watched her, and then once you watch one, they all show up. Well, one of the next people that I discovered was Olivia from Pumpkin Hollow Quilts, and at that time she was either working on her Anniversaries of the Heart or had just finished it, and it is spectacular. It is absolutely mammoth. And she took each block, which I'm sure other people have also done this, but she took each block and personalized it with somebody, a child, a parent, anniversary, whatever, right? She did it, and I loved that idea. And then I got really, really, really into stitching and bought all this stuff and stitched, and I never started Anniversaries of the Heart. And it seems really daunting because it's so big. Another person that I know that is stitching it, I don't think she's finished it yet, is, what is it, Bumble? What is her name? Bumble something Quilt. She's so cute. She's British. Why can't I think of her name? I really should think about these things before. Bumble Stitches. I will link her to, she's so sweet. I love her floss tube. And for some reason, I'm completely blanking on her name. I'm so sorry. She was doing Anniversaries of the Heart too, and I just love it. I love it. So I think that is my plan. So my plan for 2024 is to try to pare down my whips to a certain degree. Like, I know I'm not going to get them all done. I understand that. But some ones are reasonably small enough that I could complete if I really put the effort in. And then to have my whip count relatively low for the start of 2025. I know I'm not only going to work on Anniversaries of the Heart, and I know that's going to take me much more than 1 year to complete, but I do want to not go into 2025 with a massive amount of whips, because I really want that to be my focus piece for the year. So anyway, that's my plan. So going into 2024, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my 24 whips that I want to complete, and with the exception of my New Year, New Start, and a birthday start, because I know I'm going to start something new for my birthday, I'm not going to do any more new starts in 2024 until I have completed at least one whip. Ideally 2, to keep my whip count more manageable. So I've decided not to do whip go, and to do the 24 and 24 instead. And I'm going to kind of tweak it so that it works for me. I'm going to do the 24 whips. Now, I'm not going to say I won't buy anything because that's unrealistic, and I know I will. Like, market is going to come up. I am going to Stitch North this year, so I'm going to want to do a little bit of shopping because, I mean, that is just life. Yeah, I'm not going to not get anything new, but I am going to try to be very proactive in completing the projects that I have on the go. So we'll see how I do, but that is my plan for 2024. I'm sure things will change along the way, but that's what I'm thinking. Okay, that kind of, sorry, I went on a bit of a tangent, sorry. So my next whip that I worked on, I'm all over the place. Every time I film, I'm like, I'm all over the place. My next whip that I worked on is, here we go, Autumn Rules Primrose Cottage Stitches. This is fun. This is a really quick stitch. I'm really, really liking this. So in my training for my new job, some days, it sort of depends on the day. It depends on where I am in the hospital. Some days I get an hour for lunch. Normally, I'm used to a half hour and 2:15. So a couple of places where I am training, you actually combine your breaks and you just do 1 hour, which I love. I wish it was all like that, honestly. But of course, you often have to have someone cover your break. Anyway. So I have actually been bringing this with me to work for the couple of days that I have been training in that location and been able to work on it in my car because it's such a big count. So I am stitching this on the all called for. So it's 25 count Vintage Country Mocha with the called for DMC. And here's where I've gotten to. So I've done really well with this one. I've gotten a lot done. It's very quick and it's such a big count that it's super easy to stitch because it's super easy to see. I don't need magnifiers. I don't need like my light. Like I can stitch this in my car. I can stitch it if I sit outside on a bench. And I think it's really going. I'd love to have this finished. I probably won't have it fully finished this fall, but I'd like to have it finished so that I can work on it in the new year to get it finished in time for fall. So yeah, so that's been and I forgot to tell you, I forgot to tell you what I'm stitching Anna Forrest Grew on. I am stitching it on 36 count, fabric flare, even weave, like cream. I know it has a name, but I don't know what it is. So this is a 36 count even weave. And I'll try to get a close up for you. I love the fabric flare fabric. I absolutely love it. It's some of my favorite fabric to work on. And I love that they have even weave in higher counts because I like the even weave. I mean, I like the linen too. Honestly, I'm not really particular, like I am, but not like I like to have things on different sized fabrics because I think it kind of, for me, like breaks up. Like I wouldn't want to stitch everything on 40 count because I feel like having a 25 count is like, oh, you know what? My eyes are a little bit tired. I'm going to work on that. Or I find at nighttime, even with the light, sometimes if you're working on a really small count, it's not fantastic. So it's like, oh, I'll work on something a little bit bigger or work on something that's an even weave. And then in the morning, work on the small count stuff. But I love the fabric flare even weave. I think it's great. Okay. So my next one is my Sal that I am doing with Carolee from Stitching is Elementary. So this is This Joyous Season by Plum Street Samplers. So this is the only thing that I worked on this month that was Christmas. I haven't got back to my Shannon Christine designs, and I did get the newest pattern came out today. So, but I haven't got back to it yet, and I never finished. So I'm now 2 months behind. So this month I'm gonna have to really like get that done. So This Joyous Season, I'm stitching this on 40 count mallow. I didn't get a ton done, but I wanted to put a couple of days in on this. And so there it is. I got started on the roof. I feel like I got a shadow. There we go. So I got started on the roof. It's so cute. It really is a really fun stitch. And I find this goes pretty quickly too. It just depends. Like some of the stuff just seems to just take me forever. And then some stuff I just whip along. So this is on 40 count mallow, all called for. It's all the called for colors on this. Some is DMC and some is, what have I got here? Is it all Gentle Arts? No, it's Weeks or DMC. Those are the options. So yeah, very, very happy with that. We'll probably try to concentrate that a little bit on in November, December. because it's Christmas and I like to stitch the season in the season. That's me. Let me move all my stuff all over the place here and clean her up. Alrighty. So upcoming plans. I talked a little bit about my plans for 2024, which I'm sure I'll get into a little bit more detail. I will do a whip parade probably in the new year or maybe just around Christmas time, and let you know what the 24 that I'm going to concentrate on for that year. I don't think, I have picked a New Year, New Start, which will be At Home by Brenda Gervais. I haven't picked one for my birthday start yet. I think I had something in mind, but now it's left my brain and I don't know what it was going to be. I can't remember. So for this coming month, because I won't see it for a whole month, so this coming month is going to be, I have my 2 Whip Go picks. So the 2 numbers that were picked this month, I think it was 14 and 19. Don't quote me on that. That is Jessie Marie Does Stuff, Does Whip Go. She posts the numbers on both on YouTube, her FlossTube, and on Facebook. And so my picks for this month were, again, This Is the Day, which is kind of nice because the last time that I did This Is the Day, I finished all the mortar, which was a huge part of that piece in the house. I didn't even think to bring it down. I only brought down the stuff that I had worked on. I know. I will show it next time, absolutely. So I'm really, 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 really hoping that I can get all of the bricks done because that's a huge part of that piece. And then all I have left really is a little bit of the flowers and the saying at the bottom. So the mortar was big because it's a ton of counting, right? Just to do the mortar. And I think the windows are done, the door is done. So I'm really hoping to get in and just get all of the bricks complete in my 5 days. So Whip Go is 5 days on that. And I also have an ornament finish. So I am doing, again, didn't bring them down. I have showed them in my previous videos. So I have a Busilla kit, older kit, and it is an ornament kit. So it has 10 ornaments. I'm going to make 8. I'm going to make 1 for each of my kids and their significant other for this year. And that is my plan for that. So I have 5 done, not backstitched or finished, but they're stitched. So, and there's a ton of backstitching on these. So I think my plan is going to be for this month, if I can finish, is it the 6th one I'm working on? Or is it the 5th one I'm working on? Anyway, I can finish an ornament and then backstitch every ornament so I can have, because they're time consuming and it's October and I really want to get them done. So I might just bite the bullet and just finish them in October. I won't have a lot of other stitching to do, I don't think, because they're very they're little, but they're time consuming. And they're stitched on 14 count, but they're stitched with three strands of DMC. And I just find that's really, like, it's thick, right? So I might try to concentrate on that this month, as well as I really need to get caught up on my Shannon Christine designs, which I really should bring this stuff with me. I'm so sorry. I don't know why I didn't, because I even wrote notes as to what I'm going to do. And I only brought what I had worked on. So Shannon Christine Design, it's called The Signs of Christmas. I will link her website down below as well. And she has, it's a 9-part series that gets released monthly. So it started in June, maybe? I'm not sure. We're on part 6. We're on part 6. It might be part 7. I'm behind 2 months. And it's a really sweet stitch. It's not even that big. I'm stitching it over 1 on 25 count, so it's a little small. But I am, this month, definitely, by the time you see my November 1st video, that will be caught up. 100%. I need to get caught up because I don't want to fall behind on that because I'll never finish it. And I hate the fact that I start sales and I don't ever finish them. So that I'm going to get caught up on. And if I can, I'd like to get the ornaments done as well, because my wonderful, wonderful husband gifted me a new sewing machine for my birthday. It was so exciting. I haven't had a sewing machine in a while, and I know I've mentioned on here a million times. And there's so many things I want to finish, and there's so many things I want to make, and I'm just very, very excited. He is going away on a trip. He's going away on a work trip, I should say. I call it a trip, but it's really not. It's for work, but he's going to be gone for about 10 days, end to middle of October. And so I will be home alone. And I would really like to break out the sewing machine and really get to work on some stuff. That is my plan for while he's gone, because I don't really have an area, because of the basement is all askew. I don't have an area. So I think my plan is actually set up where I am now, which is kind of our like playroomish area for the baby. Because it has a great big window that I can see really, really well. I need a lot of light. I just don't have good eyes. Like I don't have great eyesight, so I need a lot of light. So my plan is going to be to sort of set up my sewing stuff and just leave it up for the week that he's gone and just sew. I do really want to make, so I have a stocking to make. So I make all my kids' stockings. So I have the new baby stocking to make. I made one for my grandson last year. And I really, really, really would like to get some project bags made. I have bought everything based on the tutorial, Elizabeth Ann Can Stitches tutorial. So I have bought everything. And I did it's been months. It's just been sitting in my craft room. But my fabric stash, because I do still have a small fabric stash. It's not a big one, but it's enough certainly to make some project bags. It is in the closet of my husband's office. So that was my craft room. Where my husband's office was my craft room. And then COVID hit and he needed an office. But we kept the closet because he doesn't need closet space. So it just stores all of my craft stuff, my stamps, my cross stitch, my crochet, my scrapbooking. So I haven't scrapbooked in decades, but anyway, it's all still in there because I haven't parted with it. My books are in that room, like everything is in there. And we just didn't bother with it because one, I got really, really, really back into cross stitching. So I really haven't made anything else. Like besides a couple of blankets for the grandbabies, I have not made another craft since then. I've just been stitching. So I haven't needed to access any of my other stuff, right? So there's that. And it just didn't matter if it was in his office. But when the basement flooded, we brought up, he has a lot of like movie memorabilia stuff. It all came upstairs, obviously, because we had to rescue it from the water. So it all went upstairs and it's just piled up there. Like there's just boxes and and it's a little tiny room. Like it's the smallest bedroom in the house. It's itty bitty. Like it's not big. Like it's tiny, tiny, tiny little room. So, and it's just packed. Like I can't access that closet at all. Like I can't get at it. So he promised me before he left that he would rearrange his boxes so I could get at my bins. I have a couple of bins of fabric. I'm not even sure what I have. I know I made a stocking for the baby last year, but I know I also need, like I still have some stocking stuff because they all kind of match, but I think I'm going to have to go out and I'm going to have to do some fabric shopping. Anyway, in October, my plan is to get some sewing done because I have a new machine. And I've had it now for like 2 weeks and I haven't touched it. And it's making me sad because I'm super excited to sew. But I don't also want to go out and buy all kinds of fabric when I know I have 2 bins of fabric that I have saved because I really liked the pattern still. I gave a lot of it away because I haven't quilted in, my goodness, probably 20 years, honestly. I haven't. And I don't really plan to get back into quilting, but there are a few things I'd like to finish into a pillow. And there's just some stuff that I have a chunk of unfinished stitches that I would really like to finish. So that is also one of my goals for 2024 is to try to at least fully finish one thing each month. Because since I have started stitching, I have not fully finished one thing. I have finished many things. I have a whole drawer of finished products or finished pieces that I quite literally have not done anything with. And that's so silly. And they're just so pretty. Like I have all these, I didn't bring those either. I have a bunch of fall finishes that I just have never done anything with. So my goal for 2024, finish whips and fully finish at least one project a month. That is my goal. I have everything I need now. I have no excuses. So you guys can hold me accountable for that. So that's my plans for October. I'm going to play around, I think, in October with, like, I'll do my whip go and I'll try to get my Shannon Christine designs caught up to date. I will work still on fall, I think, for October. So I'm going to work on a rotation, I think, to see how I like it. I'm going to trial it for the new year to see if I want to do every 3 days or every one project a week. I'm going to try to figure out how I like that. So I think for the month of October, what I'm going to do is trial a 3-day. So every 3 days I switch projects and see how many things I can get done by my next video, November 1st. So October's gonna be trial and error to see how it's gonna work for the new year, and try to get a handle on some of the crazy amount of projects that I have going, because it seems like a lot, and I really, 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 really want to get those narrowed down to a more reasonable number. Like I would like to have less than 10 whips, which I know for some people is like wild, but I just prefer to have less, because I feel like I don't get enough time with each piece, and then I kind of forget about them, and then I have some whips I haven't touched since my whip parade that I did. When did I start this channel? April? I haven't touched them. And then I have a few pieces I'd like to focus on that are bigger that I'd like to get done in 2024. So we'll see. We'll see what I do. So October, this month, is going to be a trial and error month. We'll see what I get done and what I don't get done, and how I like a new rotation of every 3 days, because I think that's what I'm going to try. Okay, so I did this. Let me see. I talked about Stitch North retreat in the fall. Okay, so now on to the FlossTubers. So I didn't do a ton of FlossTube watching this week, to be honest, or last week for that matter, but there are 2 new ones that I discovered in my For You page. One was the Needleberry Stitcher. She was great. She's fantastic, has tons of stuff. And one is someone that I have watched forever, but she doesn't do videos very often. So that is Kelsey, who is the Cross Stitch Farmhouse. Now I'm going to link them down below. Kelsey, I watched for real. I love her videos so much, but she doesn't tend to post super often. So, but I absolutely always watch them when they come in my subscription, like in my feed, 100%. So those are the 2 they're not new. I shouldn't say they're new cross FlossTubers. They're new to me FlossTubers. So they're ones that I hadn't watched, or in Kelsey's, like, I haven't mentioned her before because she hasn't done a video in a while. But I do watch her always. So there's a couple of new FlossTubers to watch. I'm hoping actually this week that I can get caught up on some of my old favorites. Because I feel like I just haven't been able to get a lot of TV watching, and I've been working full time while I'm training, and I am normally a part-timer, so I normally would have at least one day off during the week, and I would usually use that to, get my groceries and clean my house. But like after all of my chores were done, I would generally sit for the afternoon, evening, and watch FlossTube and get caught up on my stitching. And I haven't had that and I'm working days now. So it's a little bit different for me because I've been on evenings for the last 2 years. So I also would often have time in the morning to sit and stitch and watch some FlossTube because my husband is at work. So now that I find I'm working days, I really like it. I'm really, really enjoying being on a day shift because it's very nice to come home and have dinner and sort of have your evening. But I'm finding now that have switched, I'm going out a lot more in the evenings. It's like, oh, I can go see this person because I don't work at night. Oh, I can go do this. So we can go out here. We can meet friends for dinner. And it's wonderful. Like, it's great. We are really, really enjoying that. My husband and I are both on the same schedule again. That has been fantastic. But also it's like, it's definitely cutting into my stitching time because I don't have as much time where I am not planning to do something. Like if I don't work until 1 p.m, I don't make plans to do much else. So I would get up and do whatever. And if I needed to get groceries or do like whatever chores I wanted to get done for the day, but then I'd be like, okay, and I'll just sit and stitch because my husband's on a phone call or he's gone into work so it's a little different now. Our evenings have definitely gotten busier. Plus we have a new grandchild. So we want to see her. We've dropped off meals and we have our little grandson who lives right in town with us here. Not with us, but like close. Sometimes he comes over for dinner with my daughter. And anyway, all of this to say, once my training is over, I will no longer be working full time. It is a part-time position, just the training is full time. So I'm hoping once I settle into my part-time role, when my training is done, I will be able to stay caught up with my FlossTube watching and my stitching. And all the other fun things that I want to do. This is such a fun time of year. I just love it. I love the fall. I just love it. And so that is my plans for October. I will see you November 1st, hopefully, with tons and tons and tons of stuff to show you. So that's my plan. That if I come once a month, I'll have lots to show. We'll see if that works out. I may end up going back to every 2 weeks because I really do enjoy filming and I enjoy like the interaction. But we'll see what happens. I think up until Christmas, this is how I'm going to do it. I will do a whip parade, like a New Year's Day sort of whip parade, probably, like it's so common to do in FlossTube. And then maybe after that, I'll go back to 2 weeks. I do find in the winter time, I do have more time to stitch because I don't go outside as much because it's gross outside usually. And my work schedule at that point will be pretty consistently part-time. So I'll have a little bit more time to stitch and just hopefully get stuff finished. That should be my word of the year. Everybody does a word of the year for October, for 2024. My word is going to be finished. So I can get all of this stuff finished. All right, I think that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for sticking around to the end of the video. If you've stuck around this far, I will see you again November 1st. And I hope everybody has a fantastic month, soaking up all this beautiful fall weather, doing all of the awesome, exciting fall stitching. There's so many new patterns that have come out and I'm trying to rein myself in a little bit. It's very, very hard to do that. And I just hope you guys all have a fantastic month and I will see you on November 1st. Thanks. Bye.